Hi, this is Bob. As a lot of you know, along with my amateur radio hobby, I also have a 1929 Ford, which is my other hobby. And I wanted to try some LED light bulbs for the 1929 Ford. Get the current down to a lower level. I do have an alternator on this car, and I recommend the alternator. It keeps that battery up all the time. Charges while it's idling, and my battery that I had in the car lasted 12 years, and I just got a new one last year. I bought it at the farm store. They sell them for old tractors. So if you got a Model A Ford and you need a battery, go to the farm store. Take your old battery or measure it size-wise. And my Model A is still 6 volts. Now these LED bulbs that I just got in, I haven't tried them in the car yet. I'm going to, and I'll make a video on that too. The car is out in the little garage out there with snow built up around the front door, and I'm not going to get into it right now to try these out in the car. But when I do, I'll make another video on that. But right now, I wanted to test out one here on the workbench and see what kind of results I got. They come in these little boxes like this, and this is a bulb, is a 74475W 74475W LED headlight bulb. I bought these from ledlight.com, and you can see here that it has a BA15D base is what you need for the 1928 and 29 cars. I think they might have something for the 30 and 31s too. I don't know. I did not check on that. So anyways, it only took a few days to come, which was real nice. So if you want to check these people out, just go to ledlight.com on the internet. I have no connection with these people whatsoever, other than I bought 2 bulbs from them. And of course, if you guys from ledlight.com want to do me a favor, since I'm putting your name on the internet and all, you could send me another bulb. I could use a spare. Okay, anyhow, they came right away after a few days, and I was really pleased. Now, I did not have a socket for this bulb. So you can see here, I did have this old battery clamp here hanging up in the rafters, or actually clamped in the rafters. And so I just reached up and unclamped it. So I'm using that to clamp around the base of the bulb and to make contact to the, I'm on the bright, there's a bright and dim contact here. I'm on the bright contact, and to make contact with that, I'm doing that through this 8-inch crescent wrench here with a roll of solder on it. And I've connected my wire here for the negative to that. And I'm running it with a positive ground on the shell, same as the Model A. I don't know how they do this. They rate these bulbs to run on positive or negative ground, and they do. I've tried it here. Also, I found out that the bulbs do operate, they say, from 6 volts to 30 volts. I didn't take it to 30. I took it to 24, and I found I could not really see very much difference at all. Maybe a tiny bit in the brightness from 6 volts to 24. How they do that, I don't know. It must have a regulator built into it or something. I don't know. But anyways, it does work from 6 to 30 volts like they said, but I only ran it up to 24. I'm just being a little careful, that's all. I'm going to turn it on here. Okay, there we go. There we are at 6.5 volts, 1.38 amps. Now that current will drop as it warms up. The highest temperature I have measured on the heat sink, it's only showing 75 degrees there right now because it's all cooled off, but you can see it's slowly coming up, went to 76. And anyhow, the highest temperature I measured was 109 degrees on the top of the bulb. You can see there's a thermocouple on the end of that yellow wire there. This is my old soldering iron, soldering gun, which I used to hold that on there. I did not have a socket for this, and that's why this crazy lash up I've got with the old crescent wrench and the soldering gun on the other side, just to check this bulb out, the LED lamp. And anyhow, you can see it's at 1.29 amps now, but I'm going to run the voltage up. I do not recommend this power supply for one reason. I do a lot of work on radios, and this thing generates noise that comes in on the radio. They did make these with a power transformer in them before this model. This has got a switching power supply which generates that noise, but they did make them with a regular old transformer in them, and those don't make the noise. So one of these days I'll get one of those when I can find out where to get it. But I really like the versatility, all the voltages and the currents you can set with this. You see the current is dropping, if I can keep it connected. There we go. That light is really bright. It's going to be interesting to see what it does on the car, and when I put it on the car, I'll make a little report to you guys and see how that, show you how that comes up. But I want to show you here that this operates way up in voltage. Now there's what you would get on a 12-volt battery with the same bulb. But notice the current drops to 0.46, but the brightness is the same. And there's 13.6, 13.9, there's 14 volts. I'm going to take it up to 24. And I notice only a very tiny bit of increase in brightness between 6.3 and 24, well, 24.6 volts now. So this is really a neat little bulb, and I'm anxious to see what it does in the car. So that's it for today, guys, and I'm just playing around here, checking these bulbs out. And as soon as I can get out there, temperature gets up a little bit, I'll get out there and I'll put one in the car. I'll leave the old style bulb in one side, and I'll put this in the other side, and we'll see what happens. So that's it. Take care out there, and everybody have a really happy 2021.